name is Carmen Thomas. My major is applied behavioral science with an emphasis on early autism intervention. I'm a junior and I've been at KU for all 3 years now. And I'm from Olathe originally, and I mainly picked this campus because I'm a big basketball fan, so I've been watching KU basketball for my whole life. We just get involved with people on campus who have disabilities, and we advocate to make the campus more accessible. And we hear what kind of problems people have accessibility-wise, like with transportation or getting up on certain curbs without cutouts and into buildings that are difficult to get around. And we take our information to the disabilities office, or we contact whoever needs to be contacted. And we're in the middle of trying to make it a more accessible place right now. Yeah, well, right now we're dealing with certain measurements that are not compliant with the American Disabilities Act on campus. Like, a lot of the bathroom stalls are just really inaccessible, and they don't meet the standards for measurements. And then there's a lot of places where they could put more handicap parking spaces, and the parking spaces they have aren't even compliant with the measurements of the laws. And then we're trying to work out a transportation, because right now they have the J-lift for students with disabilities, but they only have a couple drivers, and it makes it difficult for everyone to get to class on time. So we're kind of working with them to figure out what we can do better for that. So I work with the Disability Resources, Juliet Loring, and she meets with me before my classes, and we set up to have a separate table for me to write on that's a certain height for the wheelchair to work with. And then I have an accommodation form for my professors to get a note taker, even though most classes I take my own notes, but I like to have one too just in case. And then I also have to tell them about the J-lift and how I can be possibly late because of that, and just accommodations getting around campus. Like if I have a class at Dole on Sunnyside and then I have to go to like Strong on the Boulevard, I'm not going to be able to make it in a 10-minute period between classes. So I usually have to work out my schedule to where my classes are each an hour apart, which is kind of a pain because then I have so much time to just spend on campus. But I just work out my schedule according to buildings, and I know what buildings are accessible and what is not so accessible. I would say before you even pick a college, you should talk to the Disability Resource Center at whatever universities you're interested in. And even depending on what they say, you should definitely come up for a day and just get a feel of the campus and make sure that every building is suited to your needs, and just to talk with different faculty and staff and make sure that they're all going to be accommodative to you.